How's it going? Just doing the morning walk around and checking out the flowers on the dragon fruit, and thought I'd do a bit of a quick update on the front yard veggie patch. It's not looking that spectacular at the moment, but hopefully by the end of today there'll be a little bit more action in there. So I thought I'd show you a bit of a before and after. Came out this morning and with the help of my little friend picked a couple of cucumbers. So these are the Gimpy Gold variety. These are our first two off our vine over there, so really chuffed about that. The asparagus is going great guns at the moment. It's flowering. I just scared them off, but we've got a couple of bees buzzing the flowers here. Most impressive. We're still getting spears come through. We could probably have started to eat this crop this year, but I think we'll leave it until next spring, just so they get well and truly established. This is our Gimpy cucumber vine. There's two Gimpy Gold cucumbers in there. That's these guys here. These guys get a little bit bigger when they're fully mature. And there's also the toadskin or Christmas melon in here. I'll just put my cukes down. This is our toadskin melon, the only one that's taken so far, but it's a bit late in the season. We're also starting to get a bit of caterpillar damage in here by the look of it. So I might have to come out and spray with a bit of dipel later. But on the whole, these vines are going fantastic. There's a couple of small baby cucumbers around the place. I think I saw one down in here earlier. So there's one down in there and that foliage somewhere. So I'm really happy with that. Bit of a late season start with these guys. We had other bits and pieces there. Look at this. These guys are absolutely everywhere. That's a big locust. So yeah, on the whole, pretty happy with that. Over here we have an empty bed with my little mate who's sunbathing himself. So this bed here I really don't want to do too much with, because this little fella spends a lot of time just sunbathing on these bits of dead yacon. So I'm pretty much going to leave it. This bed has had the mini Lee watermelon in them, but it's pretty much all died off down there. It had 3 flushes, this vine. It's given us about a dozen melons, so I'm really impressed with that. I'm quite happy. It should only give about 6 to 8, I think. So we're just going to let him guy fade away with a bit of dignity. Let's wait for the trucks to pass. Kira's bed is not really doing much at the moment. She's just left a couple of carrots in there. She saw the other ones went to seed, so she thought she'd leave these guys in there just to see how they go. So look at this, all splayed out. And he's off. See you, matey. See you tomorrow. Yeah, so Kira's bed's going to get a bit of a makeover today. We'll probably do some brassicas. I'd like to put some brassicas in there, and the same with this one here. This is the other yacon slash Star and Moon watermelon. So the Star and Moon watermelon only provided us with one large edible fruit, a couple of smaller ones, but we lost them during some of the really hot days we had. So this plant bed here will be cleared out, and I'll put some broccoli and cauliflower in here, I think. The yacon. I think I found out why the yacon died. I've been speaking to a couple of other people who had yacon around this area in exposed positions like ours, and they all said that theirs died. All the stuff that was in full sun has died, and the stuff that's been in the shade has survived. So really at a bit of a loss as to why we lost 2 beds full of yacon. I thought it was a fungal disease. I checked the roots. It sort of looked like it was a fungal disease, yet every other plant in these beds were doing fine. So I'm putting it down to just being too hot at the moment, because the plants out the back are booming. They're doing really, really well. Not as well as they could have done, but I didn't give them any TLC because I was counting on these guys, but they've picked up now. So the ginger bed. This ginger bed, I've transplanted most of the plants and put them out the back. We have a couple left in here just to see how they'll go versus the ones out the back. Couple of volunteer rock melons growing over there. I actually had the nice big one from over there split in the bed. We harvested him the other day. Massive fellow. He was about 3 kilos, a little bit over actually. Very impressed with him. We did eat some of the flesh, but a lot of the flesh unfortunately tasted a little bit off. The fruit flies and other bits and pieces had got into the center where it must have been cracked for a day or so before it split in half entirely. It was a bit mushy and watery in the center, so we had a little bit. We saved some of the flesh, but the chook's got a nice big feed. Just a bit of a heads up on this little critter. That's a ladybug larvae. That's the 28 or 26 spot ladybug, and those guys there demolish leaves. As you can see, he's having a bit of a chew on there. So Not a very nice chap to have around. We like to squish them. They're the only ladybugs that are no good, can be considered as pests, so we like to squish them when we see them. The turmeric bed's going fine. The rock melon down in here is still going alright. There's pretty much no other plants in here now bar the turmeric and the rock melon, and some asparagus I've just let grow, so that asparagus will be transplanted out later on in the year. The rock melon sort of left the container, it's gone up the neighbour's fence, but we haven't seen any more fruit develop on it yet. So there's a little baby one down there, but I don't think they'll amount to much. A lot of them are just dropping off after they're being fertilised. There's another one there. There's another one here. Looks like something's had a bit of a feed on him. So we'll wait and see. There are enough of them on the vine. We'll just wait and see what happens with them. So there you go. I'll leave it at that for now. We'll come back this afternoon and I'll show you how it's been planted out. So it's a little bit later on and I've cleaned up 2 beds. There's actually sign of nematodes on the roots of the melons in this bed. That's probably why the star and moon didn't do too crash hot. And also we did get one nice one. And the mini Lee, even though it provided us with so many melons, it had sign of root knot nematode as well. So what I've decided to do is plant some brassicas in here instead of the tomatoes I was planning on. I've left these yacon branches in here for our little buddy. In this bed here I've got 4 cauliflower. They're seeds we've saved from last year. Brassicas are resistant to nematodes, so this little bit along the front here I might plant something like mustard greens or something, a quick greens crop. A little matey's back, even though I've renovated the bed. Hey buddy, he hung around as long as he could and then he got a bit upset with me turning the soil, so he scampered off for a while. So this bed here is broccoli, and as you can see I've left the yacon branches in for my little mate, and also put an old fence post up the back there so he's got something to climb up and across on. So yes, got to look after our little garden helpers. So very pretty little fella. And there's a bit of a look at the front garden. Not as productive as you probably thought it would be, but still, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. So if you've got any comments, questions or suggestions, pop them in the comments section below and I'll get back to you. Other than that, have a great one and take it easy. Catch ya!